Hey guys, it's Kaz here, aka Cats and Camera, and today I've got an original tag for you. I'm sure if you're watching this like me, you're loving Riverdale at the moment. So I thought I'd come up with a tag where each character has a different question attached to them. There are 11 questions, so let's just get into it. So first up, let's talk about Archie. He's a good character, but I feel like everybody else seems to have a better backstory. There seems to be a lot going on in everybody else's life. So question number one is a book with great side characters. And for this one I've chosen, well, not just a book but a series. I chose The Mortal Instruments. I like this series, but personally I cannot stand Clary. She's really irritating. I hate Clace. I hate the fact that she only talks about how golden and beautiful he is, and literally throughout 6 books she never mentions anything other the way that he looks. She clearly doesn't like him as a person, she just thinks he's beautiful and golden. But there are a lot of good side characters in this. I really like Magnus, as I'm sure everybody does. I love Raphael, I like Luke, so there are a lot of good characters in here that kind of outweigh the fact that the main character is so irritating. So, maybe like me, Jughead is your favourite character, he is mine. But we saw last week that his background and his family life isn't so good. We saw bits of it previously, but we found out a lot more about him and his dad and his parents in general. And he's gone through a lot. So question 2 is a character from a broken home. And for this one I've gone for In the Path of Fallen Objects by Andrew Smith. Now in here we have 2 brothers that leave home to try and go across America to get to their father that's in prison. Their brother has gone off to war and he's been gone for a few months, and their mum just kind of left with her latest boyfriend. Now Veronica is one of those characters that could very easily have gone either way. She had loads of money, she could have very easily been stuck up, but in the show we see that she's trying to be friends with everybody. She's trying to get through to Cheryl, who a lot of shows could have made them enemies, but Riverdale's tried to make them sort of friends. Question 3 is a character who very easily could have been one-dimensional. And for this one, it's kind of an obvious one, especially the connections with the sort of person like Veronica. But I've gone with Gansey from the Raven Cycle. Now he has a lot of money, he goes to private school, he has anything he could wish for, but he's really down to earth, he is really compassionate and genuine, wants to help his friends, and I really love him in the Raven Cycle. So Betty goes through a lot. She's got to deal with her crazy ass parents. Her and Jughead are trying to figure out what happened to Jason. Ultimately, what motivates Betty the most is her sister Polly. So question 4 is a great sibling relationship. And for that I've gone with Stark and Boston in Stick by Andrew Smith. Stick and Boston, his older brother, because they've got such a bad family life, they really are super close, they look after each other a lot. So now it's Cheryl. We see a lot of this sort of characters in a lot of teen high school dramas. The bitch, the cheerleader, the sort of enemy. But Riverdale shows the flip side of a character, shows how vulnerable she is, shows her home life. And obviously her twin brothers just died, so all of the anger is a bit of an act to hide the emotion behind that. So question 5 is a character who acts tough but is secretly an emotional wreck. And for that one I've gone with another character from the Raven Cycle. I've gone with Ronan Lynch. He's super sarcastic, dry, very angry. He likes to show people how bad he is and how horrible he is, but really underneath all that he's very emotional. There's a lot of different sides to his personality, and throughout the series he opens up and you find out more about him. So next we have Josie and the Pussycats. They're fighting for what they want. They want to be stars in the music industry. They don't want their colour to hold them back, or the fact that they're female to hold them back. We obviously see a lot of dynamic between the group, some of it good, some of it bad, but ultimately they're a group of strong females who want to get where they want to get. So question 6 is a strong marginalised female who is more than just their stereotype. So this could be a strong black woman that's not just the sort of sassy best friend. It can be an Asian girl who's more than just the nerd at school. It can be a Muslim girl who's more than just this sort of oppressed, timid person. So for me, I've gone for Hazel from the Blood of Olympus series. She is a black female character and she has a lot about her. I don't want to say too much because I feel like it will give away her past and what she can do in this story. But she's a great character. She holds the team together a lot and there's a lot about her. So next up we have Polly, and we don't really know a lot about her character so far, but a lot of Polly's character is about being placed somewhere away from everybody. So question 7 is a character who gets locked up. Again, like the previous, this could be in a prison, it could be in a basement because they're kidnapped, it could even be locked up in their own mind. There's a lot of different choices here. I've gone for Nathan in Half Bad, who is locked up in a cage throughout a lot of this book. This book's a really weird one because the beginning of it is told in second person and I absolutely hated it. But it was the only book I had with me. I wanted something to read on the train and stuff. I genuinely feel like if I read this at home I probably would have put it down because I thought it was going to be in second person all the way through and I hated that. But when it finally gets into the story and it's written properly again, it's a really good series, so you should check it out. Next up we have Kevin. We don't really see a lot of Kevin. He's sort of more of a background character, so we don't really know what he's about. We don't know much about his home life. So for this question, it's a character who is lgbtqia+. But for this, I've gone for The God Box by Alex Sanchez. The main character, Paul, is in here. It's really interesting. As you can tell by the title, The God Box is about a guy who's really religious and he's trying to come to terms with himself, and there's a lot of religious texts in here, like from the Bible and quotes and stuff, and it shows not as anti-gay as everyone tries to make out. This is a really interesting read. It's probably my favourite Alex Sanchez book. Next up, sort of the star of the show, but also someone that we don't really know anything about, is Jason. And we've seen bits and pieces of his personality. Because we don't really know his character, we've seen bad things, like the book with the ratings of the girls, but we've seen good things because apparently Polly really loves him and wanted to go away with him. So this question, I hope, is kind of a fun one for people, and it's a character's death that broke your heart, or a character death that made you cheer, finally. You don't necessarily have to say which one it was. A little bit of mystery there. But for this one, I've gone with Killers of the Dawn. This is the 9th book in the saga of Darren Shan. It was a broke my heart sort of book. There's 12 books in this series. This is number 9, and I genuinely didn't carry on the series for months and months because I was just like, no, I can't believe you did that. I'm not doing it. I'm not carrying on. This was probably the first book that had something like that impacted me so much because this came out quite a few years ago. I don't hear people talk about Darren Shan much on here, so please check some of his books out because he's amazing. So question 10 is about Riverdale in general. It's one of those things where the show sort of atmosphere is kind of a character in itself. So question 10 is a world building win. And for this I'm going with A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. I think Sarah J Maas does a great job of describing and building up the Night Court, the different sections of it, and it's almost like a character in itself. So because I didn't want this to go on for ages and have like a million questions, which it very could easily have had, number 11 is Wildcard. So you can choose a character and try and fit a question to that, and maybe other people will do yours, or maybe they'll do their own, or maybe they'll do yours and their own. This could be a tag that we can all build on. So for instance, you could have Alice Cooper, Betty and Polly's mum, for a book that has bad parenting, or we can have Jughead's dad, a book with gang members, or we could even have Miss Grundy, a book with a teacher-student relationships. But for this one, I've gone for Pop's Diner, a book featuring food. And yes, I'm sure if anybody's watched any of my videos ever, they will know how much I love and go on about Chew so much. So obviously I had to make a question where Chew is the answer. So this is Chew, this is volume 1 by John Layman and Rob Guillory, and I love this. It's all about Chew, our main character, that can taste the food and then find out like a psychic impression from anything. So I've explained this like in every video that I've ever done, so I'm not going to do it again, but you should definitely check this out. This series is great. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this tag. It's the first time I've ever made a tag video, and it was really fun trying to think up all these questions. I have actually got another one coming out in a week or two, so look forward to that. If you've enjoyed this, hopefully you'll come back and kind of try and find that when it comes out. I would love for anybody to do this. I'm tagging anybody that watches this, anybody that likes Riverdale, anybody that likes tag videos. Please do this, and please post in the comments your videos. I would love to see them. It would just make me so happy for something that I've created for other people to do it. It would be amazing. So definitely do your own version of this tag if you enjoy the questions and the TV series. If you do enjoy this video and want to see more, then you can like and subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Comment below as well if you enjoy the series, because I would love to talk to people about it as well. I don't really know anybody in real life that watches it, so let's fangirl together. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a few days. Bye. What are you doing?